Hey, I'm starting on YouTube today. My name is Tyson. I'm a Paralympian in track and field, and I'm a marketer, and a few other things along the way. And I am decided to start a YouTube channel. If you see, I've posted on and off for the last little bit, but I really want to focus on it. So I'm doing this to prove to myself that I can be consistent, is first of all, and then also because eventually, as I get better at it, hopefully the things I have to say will help or entertain or whatever you guys out there on YouTube that might be searching for something related to the Paralympics or marketing, or I don't know exactly what it's going to turn into, but I know that I just need to start and then we'll figure that out as we go. I want to do this for at least 6 months, and what I'm going to commit to you guys and to myself, really, because who knows how many of you guys are going to watch this first video, but I'm committing to myself to doing this for 5 to 6 months. I am going to post 5 to 7 shorts every week, and I've been doing pretty good at that just this week, but I've been posting shorts more consistently in the past. But I also want to do one longer video like this one once a week. And those are my goals, and that's what I'm doing. As you can see, I do have my notes here. I don't care because I want to be able to remember what I'm going to say, and I don't have to do a bunch of edits. And part of being a Paralympian, I'm a Paralympian because I have low vision and legal blindness, and so I don't see super well. So I can't have a teleprompter over here with everything on and any of that. I want to keep this super simple because the simpler it is for me, the more consistent I'm going to be able to be. The more likely it is I'm going to be able to do this. And I'm going to get into all of this stuff later in more videos and maybe a little bit more in the end of this one. So a little bit of backstory on me and what brought this all about. So I mentioned I'm a Paralympian in track and field, Paralympics. I talk more about that in another video, or I will explain more in more videos, but essentially it's elite level performance and competition for those of us with physical disabilities. You've probably seen the wheelchair racers or amputees. I have low vision / legal blindness. I can still see a little bit. And you've seen the totally blind athletes as well with guide runners. So that's what I am as part of who I am. But my day job, because the reality is Olympians and Paralympians typically aren't paid enough. We do get paid a little bit. We're not paid enough to support our families. If you're married, maybe if you're single, you can do it. But when you're married and have a few kids, that you can't support your family that way. So my day job, and one thing I really love, is marketing. And I am a marketer as well. I work at Black Label Supplements. I do not as much of the marketing there. I do some marketing, and I'll explain a little bit about that in a second. But I do the product formulation, sports nutrition, which is perfect because it ties right into being an athlete and trying to perform at your best and optimize your nutrition as well as other things to be able to get the most out of our bodies as possible. So I really love that because it ties into each one of those. As part of my job, the little bit of my marketing that I do at Black Label Supplements is I'm the athlete manager, and so I'm helping up and coming athletes start to build their social presence and just their general brand and influence, right? So I'm kind of like a coach to help these athletes, like they have a coach that helps them in whatever their sport they're doing. I'm coaching them on building a little bit influence, building a personal brand. So whether they end up, aspiring to be an influencer on social media, or maybe they just want to learn how to build their personal brand, so as they go out and look for jobs, they can present themselves in a way that is consistent and helps them get a job. So that's my goal, and ultimately it ends up helping Black Label, because if we can get people that have a good solid personal brand and then they're using our products, then people, their followers and friends, will end up hopefully trying our products because they trust that athlete, right? So that's the idea behind there. Now, one thing like being a coach, right? You think about Michael Jordan's coach, Usain Bolt's coach, Wayne Gretzky's coach, Barry Bonds' coach, any of the great coaches weren't as good as their athletes, right? They may have played that sport, but they weren't as good as their athletes. And that's kind of how I was looking at me coaching them on social media. Like I have a pretty good background in marketing and a degree in marketing, but I haven't tried, well, okay, I have tried several times and I've failed miserably to build a social following and make my personal brand on social media, which is something where I failed a lot and learned a lot from those failures. And I just wasn't ready. And now I am, and that's why I'm doing this now. But I felt like just like a good coach doesn't have to be as good as their athlete. I was like, I don't need to be on social media. I don't need to be doing this stuff because I don't really want to, and I've already failed a bunch at it. But I decided that I wanted to take the challenge upon myself, and I'm in a place where I was more comfortable about being uncomfortable, right? This is super uncomfortable to me, to be honest. I don't like it. I'm kind of embarrassed by it, and that's why I didn't want to put myself out on social media before, and that's why I failed so many times. But I've decided to put, in sports and track, when I put myself out of my comfort zone in some of my training goals and workouts, it ends up making me better, and so that's what I'm doing here. And I also want to understand and help the athletes that are doing this from starting from zero and wanting to build their personal brand, wanting to understand the process they're going through, the struggles they're having, the fears they're having. And just right now, I'm like, man, it's all coming to me, right? It's, all the fears and all the remembering of the failures that I had in the past. And you guys probably think, I look funny or whatever, right? So, or talk too slow. So anyway, I want to do this with the athletes. So those of you guys that are watching this, I'm doing this with you. As you can tell, there's no crazy productions. I just have my phone set up on a box, and I'm standing against white background. I'll probably spruce it up as I get better at this, but I just want you to know that you don't have to have anything special to get started. You just have to be consistent. And I got this idea from, I honestly don't remember the guy's name, but he was a personal trainer, and he was always fit his whole life, and he was trying to help people lose weight. And he's like, he had this idea of like, you know what, I'm going to gain a bunch of weight so I can really know what these people are going through. Because he didn't really ever know what it was like to have to lose 50 pounds because he never had to do that. And so he did it. He ate a bunch of junk food, probably loved that part of it, but gained a bunch of weight, and then he had to lose it again. It's called fit to fat to fit. And I don't really know about his methodology or anything like that, so I don't necessarily recommend him or not. I don't have an opinion, but I love the idea of him saying, hey, I'm going to go experience what these people are experiencing. And he's built a great business around it and helped tons of people. So I'm doing the same thing, right? Even though I feel like I know a lot and I'm able to coach these other athletes on how to build their personal social brand, I haven't done it. And so I'm going to try, and that's what I'm doing. That's where I'm at. Let's go. So, checking my notes here. Eventually, the potential, if I can be consistent with this, the potential to make money is also, I'm going to be honest, that's cool, right? The opportunity to make money through social media is really awesome. It's not why I'm doing, that's why I'm not why I'm starting. And I'm not tied to that goal. If after 6 months I have 10 more subscribers than I have now, and I, let's say I only have 100 subscribers total and nobody really liking my videos, like it'll suck, but I don't care because I'm not tied to that. I used to be, and that's why I failed a lot in the past, is I was more tied to how many comments am I getting, how many subscribers am I getting, are people liking this, or are they not liking it, whatever, right? I'm doing this for me for the next 6 months, and it's because I want to prove that I can be consistent at something else besides track. I feel like I've had a lot of failures in life, and track and field is one of those things where I've failed a ton in, but I've also been able to stay the most consistent in. And I don't know if I feel like I've been, maybe with my the relationship with my wife or my family, like maybe I've been more consistent there. and my religion and my faith. I've been consistent there, but really I haven't felt like I've been super consistent in things. So I'm going to do this 5 to 7 shorts a week, one longer video a week, a week for the next 5 to 6 months, just so I can prove to myself that I can be consistent. And then, hopefully the outcome is awesome. If not, I'm not tied to that. And I think that's something you guys can learn from too, because I've failed so many times, and I've struggled, and I've started over and whatnot. So let's see. I'm gonna finish this video up. It's getting kind of long, and if you guys have made it this far, thank you for watching. But next week, I'm gonna get into the process that got me back into this. I explained a little bit about that, wanting to help go through it with the athletes. But what was the actually process that I went through to learn what I need to do to post and make videos about and all this stuff, right? So I'm gonna talk about that next week. If you're interested, if you make this far, again, thank you. Check out my shorts. That's where I'm talking more about the Paralympic stuff. I'm gonna do that in these videos too, I think, but they're gonna be a little more random. I am doing the shorts that are gonna be more specific around my road to Paris, and I hope you guys watch it. Trials are in 3.5 months. I'm so excited and nervous, but here we go.